But we're going to start the committee today with House File 1090. Chair Lee moves 1090 to be referred to the General Register. Chair Lee, would you like to introduce your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members, for the opportunity to present House File 1090. And so for this one, with Chair Murphy, she has been a great champion of the Library Construction Grant Program. And so the bill before us today would just name the Library Construction Grant Programs under the Department of Education under her name. And with me today, we have two testifiers who can talk more broadly about the program. The bill does not appropriate any money, and that larger pot will be for further discussion as we build our budget bill. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair Lee. So first up, we have Karen Punsack. Would you please introduce yourself for the record and proceed?
Good morning. Thank you, Chair of the Capital Investment Committee members, for the time to talk about this grant. My name is Karen Punsack. I am the Director for Great River Regional Library, one of 12 regional public library systems in Minnesota. We're headquartered in St. Cloud. House File 1090 asks that the Library Construction Grant Program be renamed in honor of Representative Mary Murphy, an educator and longtime champion of public libraries. Representative Murphy was the longest-serving female legislator in Minnesota, serving from 1977 to 2022. Through her leadership, over 120 libraries have been made more accessible to better serve residents across the state, and this bill honors her amazing legacy. From 1994 to 2024, the Public Library Construction Grant Program secured approximately $6.27 in local investment for every $1 of state investment. The Competitive Matching Grant Program provides funding to renovate, expand, or construct a public library. Across the state, over 150 projects have been completed through this program. A quarter of the public library buildings in my region alone have been improved through projects of all sizes. In Foley, we added a handicap accessible door button. In Staples and St. Michael, they constructed new city centers with the library included. And in Little Falls and Sauk Center, elevators were added to 2 Carnegie libraries, preserving their historic integrity of these library buildings. Most recently, Howard Lake opened the first net zero library in the state of Minnesota, so that means it's generating its own power on site. There's still a lot to do to improve and preserve our state's public library buildings. Over 45 public libraries across the state need repairs, expansion, or new construction totaling over $175 million. Continuing the work of this grant program is vital to public library users across the state. The library community supports renaming this vital program in Representative Mary Murphy's honor. This move will recognize her amazing legacy as a public library advocate. Thank you, Representative Lee, for authoring this bill, for your support of public libraries, and thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you for your testimony. Next up, we have Margaret Stone. Please identify yourself for the record and proceed.
Thank you. Chairs Franzen and Lee, committee members, thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of House File 1090. Mary Murphy was a longtime advocate for public libraries, and we're grateful for her leadership. So let me tell you why I think she's deserving of this honor. My name is Margaret Stone. I'm director of Dakota County Library, which is one of the 8 library systems which make up the Metropolitan Library Service Agency, another one of the 12 regional public library systems in Minnesota. Across the metro area, 40 grants have been awarded through the Public Library Construction Grant Program since 1995. The projects ranged from small ones, such as adding an accessible water fountain, adding accessible power-assisted doors, and making service desks more accessible, to full renovations and expansions. But let me tell you about 2 that I'm more familiar with. In Dakota County, at the Wentworth branch in West St. Paul, a grant was used to address accessibility issues in public restrooms and other public spaces. In Pleasant Hill Library in Hastings, a grant was used to expand the large meeting room to address the lack of meeting space for large groups in that community. Now, both of these projects were done during major renovations of the building, but county funds were not available to cover that additional needed work. That's what makes this program so key. It drives a partnership between local entities and the state so that libraries can be more attractive, accessible, and up-to-date. Public libraries are active community spaces, and they get a lot of traffic. So there is always some place, some area that needs attention. And as Karen mentioned, right now across the state, numerous libraries have identified needs. Representative Murphy worked hard for funding this program so that everyone in the state could enjoy their library. The patrons, the customers, all of us have benefited from her efforts. The Minnesota Library Association supports the name change of this important program to honor a longtime library champion, Mary Murphy. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Members, do we have any questions? Representative Perez-Vega.
I don't have a question, Mr. Chair. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's advocating. I didn't get the opportunity to serve with Mary Murphy, but I remember in my first year, she welcomed me as a guest here and said, "Go knock 'em out, Maria." And I said, "Okay, Maria." And her memory will live on why we think it's so important to continue advocating for literacy and for all of our kids to love libraries as much as I do. Thank you.
Representative Scraba.
Very quick. I knew Mary, hung out with Mary. She was our bonding person for a while for the range, good person. But the library thing is huge, huge supporter of libraries here. Someday we'll have the Ely Library and Rachel here. When Rachel comes, she'll have to bring cookies, though. She does a really good job. When I was mayor, she did a great job. But I support your effort wholeheartedly. Libraries are the key to knowledge. Thank you.
Not seeing any questions. Closing comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and committee members for the opportunity to just present the bill and really appreciate the bipartisan support for libraries in general and also making this name change in honor of Chair Mary Murphy. Thank you.
Thank you. Chair Lee renews his motion to re-refer House File 1090 to the General Register. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion prevails, and the bill is on its way to the General Register.